This is where things finally turn in your favor, not because circumstances suddenly become kind, but because something within you has quietly settled. There comes a point in every journey when the outer world looks unchanged, yet the inner state has shifted. That inner shift is the true turning point, even if the eyes cannot yet confirm it. Most people give up at the threshold. They stop because they mistake silence for failure. They believe that if nothing is happening, nothing is working. But creation does not announce itself with noise. It moves in stillness. The seed does not struggle to become the tree. It rests in the soil, trusting the unseen process. In the same way, what you have accepted as true within yourself is already in motion, arranging its expression. Do not judge your progress by appearances. The outer world is always the last to change. It must first conform to the inner agreement you have made with yourself. When you remain loyal to your inner vision, even while everything seems unchanged, you are exercising the highest form of faith. This is not blind belief, it is calm knowing. It is the quiet confidence that what is impressed within must express without. The urge to give up often arises when the old state is losing its hold, but the new state has not yet fully appeared. This is the most delicate moment. The mind tries to pull you back to what is familiar, even if it is painful. But if you persist just a little longer in the feeling of fulfillment, you cross an invisible line. Beyond that line, effort fades, anxiety dissolves, and expectancy becomes natural. You do not force life to turn in your favor. You allow it by refusing to abandon your inner claim. Stay with the feeling of already being supported, already chosen, already successful. Let that feeling be more real to you than temporary appearances. When your inner world no longer argues with your desire, the outer world has no choice but to follow. So do not give up. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not failing. You are standing at the exact point where inner conviction is about to become visible fact. Remain still, remain faithful, and let life complete what you have already begun within. The moment you feel like quitting is often the exact moment the inner shift is taking place. It is in that very instant, when resistance feels unbearable and doubt whispers that you have gone too far, that something remarkable is quietly unfolding within you. Most people mistake the heaviness, the impatience, or the tension for a sign of failure. But these are not signals to retreat. They are the subtle markers of transformation, the invisible workings of a deeper change that cannot be seen by the eyes, but can be felt in the subtle currents of consciousness. When you stand at the edge of giving up, the world may seem indifferent, yet this is precisely the moment your inner being aligns with what you have been seeking. The struggle, the discomfort, the sense of being stuck, all serve as a threshold between what has been and what is about to emerge. They are the silent heralds of a shift in perception, of a movement in the unseen, where the seeds of your desire, long planted in the fertile ground of imagination and feeling, begin to stir. This is why persistence, not in action alone, but in the steadfastness of feeling, is so critical. To give up is to turn away from the very point where life is rearranging itself in your favor. The inner shift is subtle, almost imperceptible. It does not shout, it does not make itself known through immediate results. It is a quiet revolution in your awareness, a realignment of your consciousness, with what you have been calling into being. Every doubt that arises, every impulse to quit, is merely a reflection of the old state resisting the new. And just beyond that resistance lies the exact point where your mind and heart begin to embrace the reality of what you desire. To notice this, to sense it, requires faith in the unseen and confidence in the unseen work of life. It requires the understanding that your inner world always precedes the outer manifestation, that your consciousness is the blueprint of reality, and that giving up at the threshold interrupts the very flow that is bringing you to fulfillment. When you feel the urge to surrender, pause and recognize that this feeling is not a signal to stop, but a signal to trust. It is the internal tension before the wave of ease, the resistance that signals the old limitations are breaking down. If you can remain in that space without panic, without abandoning your inner conviction, you allow the shift to complete itself. What seems like the darkest moment often contains the first glimmer of the new, the opening of doors previously unseen. The inner shift is taking place precisely when the external world offers no confirmation, when all senses report delay, when everything appears stagnant. It is here, in the unseen, that the transformation occurs, quietly, faithfully, and inevitably. To recognize this is to move beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond the temptation to quit, and to step fully into the flow of life that is ready to carry you to what you have long imagined and earnestly desired. What appears as delay is not denial, but preparation happening beyond the senses. Often, when the desired outcome has not yet manifested, the mind assumes that the world is resisting or that failure has set in. Yet appearances are deceptive. The delay that frustrates and unnerves is not a sign of absence, but a signal of deeper work occurring in realms unseen. Life, in its infinite intelligence, operates in ways that the human senses cannot always perceive. The external world moves only after the inner world has aligned. Until then, the timing may seem slow, uneven, or even contrary to hope. But this seeming pause is essential. It is the quiet period in which conditions are being arranged, energy is being gathered, and consciousness is being prepared to receive the very thing that is desired. Nothing of lasting value manifests without this unseen orchestration. Just as a seed must remain in darkness, nourished and unseen, before sprouting into the light, so too must your inner reality mature before it expresses outwardly. This hidden preparation is not passive, it is active and deliberate, though it occurs in ways invisible to the ordinary mind. The universe is constantly working to align the elements of your desire, the circumstances, the people, the timing, all converging in perfect harmony. Delay allows this process to unfold without interference. To resist the pause, to grow impatient, is to challenge the very intelligence that is arranging your fulfillment. Understanding this transforms the experience of waiting from one of frustration to one of anticipation. The delay becomes a teacher, revealing that timing is not measured by effort, but by readiness. Every moment of seeming inaction is actually a moment of immense preparation. Thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and intentions are being refined, sharpened, and positioned to ensure that when the manifestation occurs, it does so seamlessly, effortlessly, and permanently. Many give up too soon, interpreting the absence of immediate evidence as denial. They fail to recognize that the unseen is always in motion. The delay is the universe's way of building a foundation beneath your request, ensuring that what emerges is stable, sustainable, and aligned with your inner state. It is in these periods of waiting that your faith is tested and strengthened, your clarity is refined, and your persistence is cultivated. When you learn to trust in this unseen preparation, you stop measuring progress by the external world and begin to feel it within. You realize that the delay is a sign of life aligning itself perfectly, that every pause contains purpose, and that what you are waiting for is closer than your senses can detect. To act in impatience, to doubt, or to give up during this sacred interval is to interrupt the flow of life's intelligent preparation. The key is to remain centered, steadfast, and trusting. Allow the unseen to orchestrate the steps that the senses cannot yet perceive. Know that delay is a signal of readiness, not rejection, of alignment, not denial. By embracing the hidden workings, you participate consciously in your own creation, holding the feeling of the fulfilled desire, even while the evidence is not yet visible. In doing so, you honor the natural rhythm of life, and when the moment arrives, the manifestation will be complete, effortless, and undeniable. Your assumption about the outcome is shaping events even when nothing seems to move. Every experience, every circumstance, every encounter in life is first formed in consciousness before it manifests in the world of senses. What you accept as true within your mind and heart, your unspoken conviction, acts like a blueprint, silently arranging the elements of reality to conform to that inner reality. Even when nothing appears to be happening externally, this is the most active phase of creation, for the unseen is always at work, aligning conditions to bring the assumed outcome into tangible form. Many mistake inaction or apparent stagnation as failure, but it is precisely in these moments that the seeds planted by your assumption are germinating, strengthening, and preparing for expression. Assumption is far more powerful than effort or struggle. It is not what you do that ultimately shapes the world, but what you internally assume to be true. When you live and feel as though your desire is already realized, you are impressing that reality onto your subconscious, which then orchestrates circumstances in alignment with that inner conviction. The external world cannot resist this inner truth. It bends and adapts, often in ways invisible and imperceptible at first. What seems like delay is actually the world rearranging itself quietly around your unshakable assumption. The mind that is faithful to the assumption, that refuses to waver or doubt, is the mind that sets events into motion without interference. Every act of faith, no matter how small, strengthens the current of life flowing toward your desired outcome. Even when the senses report stagnation, the unseen realm is moving in perfect order. People, opportunities, ideas, and situations are aligning according to the blueprint formed by your assumption. It is like an artist preparing a canvas. The final painting is not yet visible, but the brushstrokes and layers are already being applied in the background. The universe works in this same invisible, intelligent way. To see no movement is not evidence that nothing is happening. It is a reminder that the visible always follows the invisible. Your persistent assumption is the energy that ensures the invisible steps will eventually manifest as visible reality. If you abandon your inner conviction too soon, the process is interrupted. If you maintain it, the world is compelled to reflect it. This principle also teaches patience and calm expectancy. When you understand that your assumption is the shaping force, you no longer depend on external validation or evidence. You no longer measure reality by appearances, for appearances are merely reflections of inner states. Instead, you learn to cultivate the feeling of fulfillment in advance, to live from the state of the accomplished desire, and to trust that the unseen is busy aligning circumstances in perfect timing. The assumption becomes your anchor, your source of power, and the invisible hand that moves life on your behalf. What you assume as true dictates the reality you experience. Every thought, feeling, and belief acts like a magnet, attracting conditions that correspond to it. Even when nothing seems to happen, the assumption has already begun shaping events, and the moment the alignment is complete, manifestation becomes inevitable. Understanding this allows you to hold your inner vision steadfastly, to persist in faith, and to witness the world transform in response to your unwavering assumption. Persistence in feeling, not force in action, carries you to fulfillment. Many people mistake hard work, effort, and constant doing as the primary path to success. Yet true accomplishment arises from the inner state rather than external struggle. What you feel consistently, what you hold as real in your consciousness, is far more influential than anything you can force with hands or mind. The outer world is simply a reflection of the inner. When your feeling aligns with the reality you desire, it sets into motion the forces necessary for that reality to appear. Actions alone, without the accompaniment of feeling, may move you physically but rarely create lasting results. It is persistence in the inner state, the sustained, unwavering feeling of already having what you want, that truly shapes life and ensures the eventual fulfillment of your desires. Feeling is the silent language through which consciousness communicates with the universe. Every emotion, every sensation, every mental impression impresses itself onto your subconscious mind, which then orchestrates events to match that internal state. Persistence in feeling is not about occasional enthusiasm or fleeting hope. It is about living continuously in the consciousness of the fulfilled desire. It is about maintaining the inner certainty that your goals, dreams, and aspirations already exist, regardless of the current external circumstances. When you cultivate this persistence, the universe aligns itself invisibly, arranging people, situations, and opportunities to match the inner state you hold. The unseen work is far more significant than any visible activity, and it is the quiet cultivation of feeling that ensures the outer world eventually mirrors your inner reality. Force in action, by contrast, often arises from a sense of lack, urgency, or doubt. It comes from a place of trying to push reality into existence rather than allowing it to flow naturally from your inner alignment. While action may be necessary to move in the direction of your goals, it is ineffective if it is not grounded in feeling. Action without feeling can be frantic, scattered, or misdirected. It expends energy but rarely produces the deep fulfillment that emerges when your consciousness is in harmony with your desire. Feeling, on the other hand, requires no struggle. It is effortless yet potent, quietly commanding the world to conform to the reality already accepted within you. Persistence in feeling also teaches patience and inner confidence. When you remain steadfast in the inner state of accomplishment, you do not become anxious about timing or external evidence. You trust that the unseen forces are working, that the necessary conditions are forming, and that your fulfilled desire is already in motion. This trust strengthens your mental and emotional equilibrium, allowing you to act when appropriate, yet without desperation or strain. The more you persist in the feeling of fulfillment, the more the outer world adjusts, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically, to reflect the state you hold inside. Fulfillment is achieved not through relentless doing, but through faithful persistence in the inner reality you desire. By mastering feeling, by cultivating the inner certainty and lived experience of already having what you want, you allow the universe to complete the work on your behalf. Force may attempt to push against resistance, but feeling dissolves resistance altogether, opening the way for effortless manifestation. The key is to stay rooted in the experience of fulfillment, to persist in feeling, and to trust that the outer world will inevitably align with the state you maintain within. Inner faith precedes outer evidence. The unseen always moves first. This principle is one of the most profound truths in the art of creation. Everything that appears in the physical world has its origin in the unseen realm of consciousness. Before a tree grows, its seed exists in potential. Before an idea takes shape, it exists in thought. Before a desire manifests, it exists in feeling. Outer evidence is always the result, the reflection of what has already been established within. Those who wait for visible proof before believing are attempting to reverse the natural order. They look outward for assurance, when assurance must first be cultivated inwardly. Faith is the precursor, the silent force that sets the machinery of life in motion, and the unseen is where this movement begins. The unseen operates according to the laws of consciousness, arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities long before they become apparent to the senses. This is why patience and trust are essential. Often you may feel that nothing is happening, that your efforts are unrecognized, or that your desires are delayed. But in reality, the unseen is constantly orchestrating the events that will bring your inner conviction into tangible expression. Life unfolds first as an invisible current, shaping and aligning conditions with precision, far beyond the immediate perception of your senses. Outer evidence cannot precede inner faith, because it is a product of that faith. To act without first holding faith in the unseen is to attempt to build a house without a foundation. Faith is not merely hopeful thinking or wishful desire. It is a deep-seated knowing, a confident assumption of the reality you wish to experience. When you hold this inner state, it impresses itself upon the subconscious, which acts as the agent of manifestation. The unseen begins to move in accordance with the feeling, aligning events and opportunities to match the inner conviction. Often, this movement is invisible at first, subtle and quiet, but it is powerful, and the external world will follow, but only after the inner state has been established. This explains why some people achieve extraordinary results seemingly effortlessly. They maintain the inner certainty before any evidence appears. Their faith is active, alive, and unwavering, and the unseen conspires to translate it into form. Many give up too soon because they judge their progress by what is visible. They fail to recognize that the unseen is always at work, preparing and shaping outcomes long before they materialize. Faith bridges the gap between desire and fulfillment. By persisting in inner belief, by assuming the feeling of the end result as if it were already accomplished, you align yourself with the currents of life that bring your vision into reality. The unseen never waits for the outer world. It moves first, quietly setting the stage for the manifestation of your inner assumption. To practice this principle is to live in a state of calm expectancy, knowing that what you feel inwardly is already influencing the outer world. Outer evidence is simply the last step, the confirmation of what has long been set in motion. Inner faith is the engine. Outer evidence is the reflection. The unseen is always ahead, silently working, arranging, and unfolding. By trusting in this invisible process, by holding the feeling of fulfillment as if it were already true, you align with the natural flow of creation, and the world inevitably responds to the certainty within. Staying faithful to your inner vision allows life to rearrange itself in your favor. The human mind often underestimates the power of persistent inner conviction. Most people judge progress by what they can see, what is tangible, and when the outer world does not immediately reflect their desires, doubt creeps in. Yet the true work of creation is carried out in the unseen realm, where your inner vision acts as a blueprint for reality. The world does not resist your vision. Rather, it waits for the clarity and fidelity of your belief to guide its manifestation. To remain faithful to your inner vision is to signal to the universe that you are aligned with the reality you desire, and it is in this alignment that life begins to rearrange circumstances, people, and events to bring that vision into form. Faithfulness to your inner vision is not a passive state, it is an active, deliberate practice. It requires the conscious choice to hold the feeling of already having what you desire, regardless of external conditions. Life will test this fidelity through apparent delays, obstacles, or contradictory circumstances. These moments are not failures. They are opportunities to strengthen your inner conviction. Every challenge is an invitation to return to the state of awareness where your vision exists fully realized. By refusing to be swayed by appearances and by nurturing the inner certainty of your desired outcome, you create an invisible current that compels reality to respond. The world begins to shift subtly, aligning itself with the internal state you faithfully maintain. The process by which life rearranges itself is intelligent and meticulous. When your consciousness is fully committed to a vision, the universe orchestrates events in ways that you may not immediately perceive. Opportunities emerge, connections form, and situations evolve, all in perfect timing to reflect the reality you have assumed within. Often, these movements are unseen at first. A chance encounter, a sudden insight, or an unexpected solution may appear out of nowhere, seemingly coincidental, yet perfectly synchronized with your inner vision. These are the signs that life is responding to your steadfast faith, quietly rearranging itself to fulfill the blueprint you hold within. Remaining faithful also requires patience and unwavering trust. The mind, conditioned to immediate results, may grow anxious or frustrated, but the power of your vision does not depend on speed. It depends on consistency, on the persistence of consciousness in the state of fulfillment. By continuously returning to the feeling of the end result, you resist the temptation to abandon your inner vision, even when circumstances seem contrary. Each moment of fidelity strengthens the momentum, making the outer manifestation inevitable. Staying faithful to your inner vision transforms the creative process from struggle into effortless flow. You no longer chase outcomes with frantic effort, nor do you attempt to force reality to conform to your desires. Instead, you hold the vision with unwavering confidence, knowing that life itself is arranging the details in your favor. This alignment between inner vision and outer expression is the secret to fulfillment. By maintaining faith, by persisting in the feeling of having already achieved your desire, you allow the intelligence of the universe to complete what you have begun within. In this way, life responds. Circumstances shift, and the reality you imagine takes form exactly as it was conceived in your inner world. In conclusion, the journey toward your desires is not measured by the appearances of the outer world, but by the steadfastness of your inner state. Every moment of doubt, every seeming delay, and every challenge is part of the unseen process quietly aligning circumstances in your favor. By holding your assumptions firmly, persisting in the feeling of fulfillment, maintaining inner faith, and remaining loyal to your vision, you allow life itself to rearrange and manifest your desires effortlessly. The key is not in struggle, but in unwavering trust and alignment with the unseen currents of creation. Remember, the moment you feel like giving up is often the exact moment your breakthrough is taking place. Stay faithful, stay persistent, and life will respond to the certainty you hold within. Thank you. Have you ever experienced a moment so perfectly timed, so perfectly aligned, that you couldn't help but feel the universe was speaking directly to you? That is no coincidence. When you see a sign, whether it's a number, a phrase, a chance encounter, or a sudden thought, it is the universe whispering that it has a grand plan for you. Pay attention. Notice it. Feel it deeply. Your attention is a magnet. Where you focus, energy flows. When you notice these signs, it is not random. You are being guided gently toward what you are meant to receive. It may appear small at first, but these little nudges are building towards something monumental. Trust them. Follow them. Do not doubt the power of your imagination. What you imagine with feeling and conviction is already shaping your reality. The universe moves to your inner world first. Your inner vision, your sense of fulfillment, your awareness of already having what you desire, these are the forces that manifest the extraordinary in your life. You may not see the full picture yet, but that is the nature of the invisible. Trust it. Trust that the unseen hands of creation are orchestrating every detail of your life. Your present circumstances are not the measure of your future. They are merely the stage for the unfolding of your destiny. Live as if your desires have already been fulfilled. Feel them, speak them, see them in your mind's eye. When you act as if your life is already complete, you align yourself with the energy of manifestation. The universe responds to feeling, to conviction, to the certainty that what you want is already yours. Align your emotion with your expectation. Excitement, gratitude, and faith are not just feelings. They are signals to the universe that you are ready. Ready to receive. Ready to step into your destiny. Ready to embrace the grand plan designed uniquely for you. So when you see a sign today, do not dismiss it. It is a message, a pointer, a golden thread in the tapestry of your life. It says, you are on the path. Your destiny is calling. Prepare yourself for greatness. Every moment of your life is brimming with messages from the universe, and yet most people pass them by without noticing. When something catches your attention, a repeated number, a chance encounter, a word in a song, or even a fleeting thought, it is never by accident. These seemingly small everyday occurrences are the universe's way of guiding you, directing you, and confirming that you are on the path that aligns with your destiny. The world around you is alive with signs. And these signs are not random. They are carefully orchestrated to bring you awareness, clarity, and insight into your life's journey. When you begin to see life through the lens of awareness, you start to notice that nothing happens without purpose. The universe communicates constantly, but its language is subtle. It speaks in symbols, synchronicities, and moments of resonance that capture your attention precisely when you are ready to receive them. A missed connection, a familiar phrase, a sudden idea, they are all whispers from a reality that is greater than the physical world you inhabit. They are clues pointing toward opportunities, awakenings, and the fulfillment of your desires. The beauty of this communication is that it requires nothing from you except attention. You do not have to force it, control it, or manipulate it. The signs appear naturally when your mind and heart are open to noticing them. When you pause and allow yourself to truly see, you realize that the universe is speaking to you in your language. It is always present, always active, and always working on your behalf, even when your conscious mind cannot perceive the mechanics of its operation. The moment you acknowledge these signs, you activate a powerful shift within yourself. You move from being passive in life to becoming an active participant in your own destiny. You begin to recognize that you are co-creating with the universe, responding to its gentle prompts, and aligning yourself with its flow. Each sign you notice becomes a building block, a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. This awareness transforms ordinary experiences into extraordinary guidance. A red light on your way to work may remind you to slow down and reflect. A phrase in a conversation may spark the solution to a problem you have been pondering. A chance meeting may open the door to a new opportunity. The universe is constantly offering you these signs, and when you pay attention, you discover that life itself is a mirror, reflecting the path toward your highest good. It is crucial to understand that ignoring these signs or dismissing them as coincidence deprives you of the guidance that could accelerate your growth, your success, and your happiness. The universe's messages are precise, personal, and powerful. Each time you recognize a sign, you deepen your connection with the unseen forces orchestrating your life, and you strengthen your ability to manifest the reality you desire. Nothing is ever by chance. Everything you notice is a sign. It is the universe speaking directly to you, affirming that you are exactly where you need to be, and encouraging you to trust the process of your life unfolding in perfect order. Where you place your attention determines the course of your life. Your mind is a powerful magnet, constantly attracting the experiences, people, and opportunities that correspond to what you focus on. Every thought, every emotion, every observation is a signal to the universe, guiding the energy around you toward the reality you are creating. When you notice something repeatedly, when a particular idea or image captures your imagination, or when a certain feeling stirs within you, it is not mere coincidence. This is the universe responding to where your attention is directed, aligning circumstances and events to reflect the focus of your inner world. Understanding this principle changes everything. Most people go through life scattering their attention, reacting to external circumstances, without realizing that their inner focus is the true force shaping their reality. They wonder why life seems random, why opportunities appear sporadically, or why their desires remain unfulfilled. The answer is simple. Where their attention goes, energy follows. If the mind is preoccupied with worry, doubt, or scarcity, that is exactly what manifests in their world. But when attention is consciously directed toward what you truly desire, toward the possibilities that excite and inspire you, the universe begins to move in harmony with that focus. Seeing a sign, then, is far more than a momentary observation. It is a clear indication that your attention has aligned with your destiny. The universe speaks to you in ways that your conscious mind can perceive, sending symbols, synchronicities, and experiences that mirror the desires and intentions you hold in your mind. By recognizing these signs and giving them your focused attention, you are effectively saying to the universe, I am ready, I am aligned, show me the way. Each sign becomes a confirmation, a gentle nudge that the path you are on is the path you were meant to follow. It is essential to realize that attention is not passive, it is an active creative force. Every thought you entertain, every image you dwell upon, and every emotion you cultivate sends ripples through the unseen currents of life. When you focus on fear, limitation, or doubt, the energy of those states multiplies in your experience. But when you focus on hope, possibility, abundance, and joy, you magnetize circumstances that correspond to those feelings. In this way, attention is both the lens through which you perceive the world and the magnet that draws your desired outcomes toward you. By consciously directing your attention to the signs and signals around you, you participate in the co-creation of your reality. The universe is always ready to respond, always ready to guide, but it requires your focus to channel its energy effectively. When you notice a pattern, a repeated message, or a striking coincidence, recognize it as a beacon, a guiding light illuminating the next step on your journey. Your attention shapes your destiny. It draws experiences that reflect your inner state. It amplifies your intentions, and it opens doors to opportunities that might otherwise remain hidden. Each moment you give mindful attention to the signs of your life, you reinforce the truth that where your focus goes, energy flows, and the universe is actively guiding you toward the realization of your highest potential. Your inner vision is far more powerful than the world around you might suggest. What you see, feel, and imagine in your mind is not simply a dream or a fleeting thought. It is the blueprint of your reality, already in motion, already influencing the life you are about to experience. Every idea, every image, and every scenario you hold with conviction in your imagination sends a signal to the universe, shaping circumstances to match the vision you carry within. The moment you truly believe in what you imagine, you begin to align with the unseen forces that are orchestrating the manifestation of your desires. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the creative engine behind everything that exists. The things you see around you today were once imagined by someone, somewhere, with unwavering belief. The walls you sit within, the technology you rely on, the abundance you witness in the world, all of it began as a vision in someone's mind. In the same way, your inner visions are already in the process of becoming real, even if your external circumstances have yet to reflect them. That's why your inner vision should be very familiar to every single person in the world. The things you see around you today were already in the process of becoming real, even if your external circumstances have yet to reflect them. When you imagine with conviction, you are effectively planting seeds in the fertile soil of reality, seeds that the universe is ready to cultivate and bring to fruition. Belief is the bridge between imagination and reality. It is not enough to simply picture what you want. You must feel it as true, know it as real, and hold it as already accomplished. When you imagine with this depth of conviction, your subconscious mind accepts it as fact. Your actions, emotions, and energy begin to harmonize with that inner vision, and the universe responds in kind. Opportunities, ideas, and events begin to align around you, reflecting the reality that you have already accepted within. What you see in your mind with certainty is already shaping the contours of your life, even if the physical manifestation is still on its way. Doubt and fear are the only forces that can obscure the power of your inner vision. When you hesitate, question, or doubt the reality of what you imagine, you weaken the signal you send to the universe. The image in your mind loses its clarity, and the alignment with your desires falters. On the other hand, unwavering belief strengthens the connection between your inner world and the outer world. Every moment spent imagining with conviction is a moment spent co-creating your future. A future that is already responding to the energy you emit. Your inner vision is personal, unique, and perfectly suited to you. Trust it, nurture it, and give it the attention it deserves. When you do, you will notice subtle changes in your life. Ideas appearing, people arriving, doors opening, reflecting the power of what you hold in your mind. This is not wishful thinking, it is a natural law. The universe does not distinguish between imagined and physical reality. When the vision is held with conviction, it begins to move to make the inner world visible in the outer world, turning imagination into experience, thought into form, and belief into reality. To truly believe in your inner vision is to recognize that your imagination is the workshop of creation. It is the unseen architect of your life, shaping every detail according to the energy, conviction, and faith you pour into it. When you imagine with certainty and trust the process, you are not merely dreaming. You are already living the reality you seek, and the world will eventually reflect exactly what you hold firmly within your mind. Your current circumstances are not the measure of your future. Too often people look around at their present situation and assume that it defines what is possible for them. They see limitations, challenges, and delays, and they believe that these external conditions are permanent, that they are the truth of their reality. But what you see with your eyes is only a small fraction of the story. The true forces that shape your life are invisible. They operate beyond the reach of the senses, moving silently, steadily, and powerfully toward your success, even when you cannot perceive them. Trusting the invisible means understanding that the world you experience is the result of a greater, unseen order. The circumstances surrounding you are like a temporary stage, a backdrop that will shift as your inner state changes. The universe is constantly orchestrating events, arranging opportunities, and aligning circumstances in perfect timing for your highest good. What you see now is not final. It is merely the beginning of a process you cannot yet fully comprehend. By trusting the invisible, you place yourself in harmony with these unseen forces, allowing them to work on your behalf without interference from doubt, fear, or impatience. Faith in the unseen requires a shift in perspective. Instead of reacting to the surface of life, you learn to look deeper, to sense the movement of energy and intention beneath every situation. The invisible world responds to your beliefs, your focus, and the energy you radiate. When you align your thoughts and feelings with the outcome you desire, the unseen forces begin to shape the external reality to match your inner state. Every sign, every synchronicity, every sudden opportunity is a reflection of this invisible orchestration, guiding you steadily toward the fulfillment of your dreams. It is natural to question what you cannot see, to doubt what is not yet tangible. Yet the greatest successes in life come to those who trust the unseen, who continue to act with faith even when results are not immediately visible. Your current situation does not define you. It is simply a temporary expression of your inner beliefs. By holding fast to the invisible, by trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes, you cultivate patience, resilience, and clarity. You learn to move forward with confidence, knowing that what is meant for you is already on its way, even if you cannot see it yet. Trusting the invisible is also about surrender. It is the recognition that you do not need to control every detail, that you are not responsible for every outcome. When you trust the unseen, you release resistance, allowing life to flow in ways that are often far greater than you could orchestrate yourself. You stop fighting against the present and begin cooperating with the creative forces that are orchestrating your life. The unseen is always working for you, even when circumstances seem contrary, when doors appear closed and paths appear blocked. There is a silent guidance arranging everything to bring your desires to fruition. Trust it. Align yourself with it. Know that your success is already being orchestrated in ways that transcend what you can see. Your future is not limited by what exists today. It is shaped by the invisible forces responding to your faith, your focus, and your readiness to receive. So join me. Success is not limited by what exists today. It is shaped by the invisible forces responding to your faith, your focus, and your readiness to receive. By trusting the invisible, you step into the power of creation itself and open the door for the universe to bring your highest potential into reality. To live in the end means to immerse yourself fully in the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. Most people live their lives focused on what is missing, what has not yet happened, or what seems impossible in the present moment. They chase outcomes, strive against circumstances, and measure reality by what is visible. But the key to manifestation lies not in the struggle, not in the effort, but in the ability to mentally and emotionally inhabit the state of having already received what you want. To live in the end is to create a reality within your mind and heart that the universe can then reflect outward. When you feel as if your desires are already accomplished, your thoughts, emotions, and actions naturally align with that state. You are no longer looking for validation from the outside world because you have already validated it internally. This alignment is magnetic. The energy you radiate when you live in the end resonates with circumstances, people, and opportunities that correspond to that reality. You become a living signal to the universe, a clear declaration that what you desire is not a distant hope, but a present truth in your consciousness. Living in the end requires imagination and conviction. It is not a superficial wish or a casual daydream. It is a deliberate, vivid experience of the reality you wish to manifest. Imagine the scenes, the sounds, the feelings, and the details of your life as if your desire has already materialized. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement, and the peace that comes with receiving it. The more real and alive your inner experience, the stronger the signal you send to the universe. This feeling acts like a magnet, drawing your desire toward you effortlessly, without forcing, chasing, or struggling. Many people make the mistake of living in the middle, partly in desire, partly in lack. They say they want something, yet their actions, doubts, and thoughts betray a belief that it is not yet theirs. The universe responds to your dominant state, and if that state is lack, frustration, or uncertainty, it manifests accordingly. By living in the end, you shift your dominant state to fulfillment, certainty, and satisfaction You step into the reality you wish to create, and in doing so, align yourself with the natural flow of life. Gratitude is a powerful companion to living in the end. When you appreciate the reality as if it already exists, you deepen your connection to it. Gratitude amplifies the feeling of fulfillment and strengthens the impression upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious cannot distinguish between what is imagined vividly and what is experienced physically. It accepts the end as already accomplished and moves all of your thoughts, behaviors, and circumstances into harmony with it. Living in the end is not about waiting passively. It is about creating from a place of completion. It is about embodying the truth of your desires now, in this moment, so that your inner world becomes the fertile soil from which your outer reality blossoms. By consistently feeling, imagining, and believing in the state of already having what you want, you effortlessly attract it into your life. This is the art of manifestation, the secret that transforms hope into reality, thought into experience, and desire into living fulfillment. Your emotions are the most powerful language you have with the universe. They are the currents through which your intentions flow and the signals that shape the reality you experience. To align your emotion with expectation means to cultivate feelings that match the outcome you desire even before it has physically manifested. It is the conscious practice of feeling excitement, gratitude, and unwavering faith as if your dreams are already realized. When your inner emotional state resonates with the vision you hold, you create a magnetic force that draws circumstances, people, and opportunities into alignment with that state. Excitement is a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. When you feel excited about a desire as though it is already yours, you signal that you are open and receptive. Excitement infuses your energy with vitality, enthusiasm, and anticipation, creating an irresistible pull toward the manifestation of your desires. It is not merely a fleeting feeling, it is a deliberate focus on the joy of the outcome, a pre-experiencing of what is to come. When you cultivate this excitement, your subconscious mind accepts it as the reality, and the external world begins to respond accordingly. Gratitude acts as the amplifier of your expectations. To feel grateful for what you are about to receive is to acknowledge the abundance that already exists, even if it has not yet appeared in physical form. Gratitude shifts your mind away from lack and limitation, placing it squarely in a state of recognition and appreciation. This feeling bridges the gap between desire and reality, reinforcing the conviction that what you seek is inevitable. When your heart is filled with genuine gratitude, the universe responds with increased alignment, providing you with the resources, guidance, and opportunities necessary to fulfill your expectations. Faith is the anchor that sustains your emotional alignment. It is the quiet certainty that what you have imagined, what you have felt and believed, is already being orchestrated in the unseen realm. Faith does not depend on external evidence or immediate results. It exists independently of circumstances, creating a steadfast inner certainty. When your faith is strong, it holds your emotions steady in the direction of your expectation, preventing doubt, fear, or impatience from disturbing the alignment. This unwavering trust acts as a signal to the universe that you are prepared to receive, allowing the unseen forces to operate unhindered. Aligning emotion with expectation requires consistency and mindfulness. It is not enough to think positively for a few moments or to hope that your desires will manifest. You must consistently inhabit the feeling of already having what you seek, maintaining a state of emotional resonance with your vision. This alignment transforms the invisible into the tangible, allowing your inner world to dictate the unfolding of your outer reality. When excitement, gratitude, and faith are harmonized with your expectations, you create a powerful energetic frequency that cannot be ignored by the universe. It is through this alignment that desires move from imagination into manifestation, that opportunities appear seemingly by coincidence, and that your life unfolds in perfect accordance with your highest good. By cultivating these emotions deliberately, you strengthen your connection to the universe's plan for you, inviting the seamless realization of your dreams and stepping fully into the life that has always been waiting for you. In conclusion, every sign, every feeling, and every thought in your life is a reflection of the grand design the universe has for you. By noticing the signs, focusing your attention, believing in your inner vision, trusting the unseen, living in the end, and aligning your emotions with your expectations, you step into a life of effortless manifestation. Happy 30th anniversary to us. You become a conscious participant in the creation of your reality, co-creating with forces far greater than yourself and opening the doors to opportunities, abundance, and fulfillment that were always meant for you. Remember, the universe is constantly guiding you. All you need to do is recognize the signs, embrace them, and allow yourself to receive what is already yours. Thank you for listening and taking the time to connect with these powerful truths. May you walk forward with faith, clarity, and excitement, knowing that your life is unfolding exactly as it should. There comes a moment in every journey when the visible world seems silent, when progress appears slow, and when the mind whispers doubts you never invited. Yet this moment, the one that feels uncertain, is actually the clearest sign that you are closer than you have ever been. The door you've been knocking on is not locked, it's simply opening from the inside. You are standing within arm's reach of the very victory you have prayed for, imagined, and carried in your heart. Everything you desire already exists in the unseen. Your job is not to force it, chase it, or beg for it. Your job is to align with it. The end you have imagined, the vision you've held quietly in your spirit, is not fantasy. It is a preview of what's already yours. Life is not happening to you, it is unfolding through you, responding to the inner movie you replay every day. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can feel it. That slight pull forward, that whisper of hope, that inner warmth that tells you, don't give up now. That is not coincidence, that is confirmation. You are standing on the edge of completion. What you're longing for is already complete. You're simply catching up to it. Hold your state, even when nothing around you changes. The outer world always lags behind the inner shift. Do not measure your progress by what your eyes see, measure it by what your heart knows. One shift in feeling can open doors that years of effort could not. And when you embody the emotion of already having what you desire, the world rearranges itself to match you. This is why your faith matters now more than ever. Not blind faith, creative faith. Not hope alone, but the knowing that what you have claimed in imagination is yours by right of consciousness. Every great transformation begins within. Every miracle starts as a feeling. Every victory is born in the unseen. So when resistance shows up, don't collapse, rise. When delay appears, don't doubt. Deepen When circumstances challenge you, don't shrink, expand, because the pressure you feel is not a sign of defeat. It is the world bending, shifting, recalibrating itself to deliver what you have already accepted as true. You are so close, closer than your doubts want you to believe, closer than your fears can comprehend, closer than the world can currently reveal. And the beautiful truth is this: your victory is not coming, it's unfolding. Piece by piece, moment by moment, step by step. Do not give up. Do not withdraw your belief. Do not trade your destiny for temporary discouragement. Keep walking in the feeling of fulfillment. Keep holding the end in your heart. Keep trusting the invisible process working in your favor, as there will come a moment soon when everything aligns at once. A moment where the struggle makes sense. A moment where the delays reveal their purpose. A moment where you will look back and realize you are only one breath away from breakthrough. You're so close to winning everything. Stay in the knowing. Stay in the feeling. Keep believing. Your victory is already yours. Your breakthrough is not something you are chasing, nor something you are trying to earn through effort or struggle. It is already complete in the unseen, fully formed, waiting for you to arrive at the version of yourself who can hold it. The moment the desire was born within you, the seed of its fulfillment was born as well. There is no gap between the creation of the desire and the completion of the breakthrough. The only gap is your awareness of it. You are not fighting for something uncertain. You are walking towards something finished. In the unseen realm, everything exists in its final state. Every answered prayer, every door that will open, every opportunity that will meet you, every healing, every reconciliation, every promotion, every rise, it is all already done. What feels like waiting in the physical world is simply alignment in the spiritual world. You are coming into harmony with what has already been prepared for you. Life is not moving randomly. It is guiding you, step by step, toward a destination that is already completed. Imagine a traveler walking toward a city on the horizon. Even before he arrives, the city is already there. Its buildings, its lights, its roads, its people. He does not create the city by walking toward it. He simply becomes aware of it as he gets closer. This is how your breakthrough works. Your walking does not build it. Your effort does not construct it. And your fear cannot destroy it. It is already standing, waiting, ready. You merely move toward the awareness of what already exists. When you feel moments of resistance or doubt, you are not being pushed away from your breakthrough. You are being refined to match it. The journey is shaping you into the version of yourself who can receive, hold, and sustain what is already finished. Sometimes this shaping feels like delay. Sometimes it feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like the world is working against you. But every stretch, every quiet season, every test of faith is not punishment. It is preparation. The unseen completion of your breakthrough is the reason you feel that inner pull. It is why you cannot let the dream go, why the vision returns again and again, why something in you says, keep going. Your breakthrough calls to you because it exists. You do not long for things that are impossible. Desire is proof of destiny. The end is already written. You are simply walking the pages. So do not be discouraged by what you do not yet see. The visible world always lags behind the invisible. The moment you believe, align, and accept the finished version, your outer circumstances begin shifting to catch up. Life must mirror the inner state you choose to hold. That is why staying faithful, staying grounded, and staying connected to the end result matters so deeply. You are walking toward what is finished. Every step is bringing you closer to an outcome that cannot be taken from you. Trust the unseen and continue forward. Your breakthrough is waiting in its completed form, ready for you to arrive. Imagination is not a child's game, nor a fleeting escape from reality. It is the creative engine of your life, the inner workshop where every future victory is first built. The world you live in now is shaped by the thoughts, feelings, and images you once entertained within yourself. Before anything becomes physical, it must first exist as an idea, a picture, a feeling. Imagination is the blueprint, the invisible draft that determines the structure of what will eventually manifest in the visible world. What you hold within becomes what you hold in your hands, because life always reflects the state of your inner world. When you imagine something with clarity and emotion, you give it life. You feed it energy. You begin the process of turning the unseen into the seen. Every great achievement, every invention, every breakthrough began in someone's imagination long before the world ever saw it. The mind creates the pattern, and reality obediently follows. This is why your inner life matters more than your outer circumstances. Circumstances can be misleading. They show you what has already been created, not what is possible. Imagination, however, shows you the future before it arrives. Your imagination is not limited by your current conditions. It sees beyond what is into what could be. It is the space where you hold the picture of your desired outcome until it becomes so familiar, so real, that the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match it. When you consistently dwell in the feeling of already having your desire, you program your subconscious mind to accept it as truth. Once accepted within, it must express without. The inner blueprint becomes the outer structure. This is why it is dangerous to let fear or doubt dominate your imagination. Whatever you consistently picture, whether wanted or unwanted, becomes a blueprint. If you imagine failure, you carve out a path for it. If you imagine rejection, you invite it. If you imagine lack, you create more of it. The mind does not judge. It simply creates according to the pattern it is given. You are always imagining something. The question is whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously. When you choose to use your imagination intentionally, you reclaim your creative power. You stop living by reaction and start living by design. You become the architect of your destiny rather than a victim of circumstance. The visions you hold become instructions to the universe, signals to your subconscious, and magnets that draw opportunities, people, and situations aligned with your inner picture. Your victories begin the moment you dare to imagine them. See yourself winning before you win. Feel yourself succeeding before you succeed. Walk in the end result before the world gives you permission. The feeling of fulfillment is the gateway. Once you have felt it within, it is only a matter of time before it appears in your physical experience. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is creation. It is the silent architect of your future. Whatever you hold within, with conviction, emotion, and consistency will one day be the very thing you hold in your hands. The delay you are experiencing is not a sign that life has forgotten you or that your desire has been rejected. It is the quiet, intentional unfolding of divine timing, arranging every detail in ways you cannot yet see. When something meaningful is being prepared for you, the process often takes longer than your expectations, not because it is far away, but because it is being aligned perfectly. A delay is not a punishment. It is preparation, refinement, and preparation wrapped in silence. It is life saying, I am working on something bigger, something better, something complete. Divine timing does not operate on the schedule of human impatience. It sees the full picture, the connections you will need, the strength you must develop, the opportunities that must open, the people who must arrive, the doors that must be unlocked, and even the obstacles that must be removed before the blessing can land safely in your hands. What feels like inactivity in your world is often intense activity in the unseen. The delay is not about slowing you down. It is about positioning you in the right place, with the right mindset, at the right moment. Sometimes the delay is there to grow you into the person who can receive what you've asked for. A breakthrough given too soon can collapse under the weight of unprepared character. A blessing received prematurely can be misunderstood, undervalued, or mishandled. Life ensures that you are strengthened, matured, and sharpened so that when what you desire arrives, you won't just receive it, you will sustain it. Delay builds capacity, delay expands faith, delay deepens wisdom. It is crafting the version of you who belongs to the destiny you're moving toward. There are moments when you will wonder why things seem stuck or unmoving, but what appears still is often shifting beneath the surface. Just like seeds hidden underground, growth is happening even when your eyes cannot witness it. Roots are forming, foundations are strengthening, and life is preparing for emergence. The silence is not empty. It is full of movement you cannot measure yet. Divine timing also aligns people and circumstances in a way that simple effort cannot. Someone you have not met yet is being prepared to help you. A door that is currently closed is being unlocked. An opportunity you know nothing about is being shaped in your favor. The timing of these elements must converge for the breakthrough to land perfectly. If any piece arrives too early or too late, the whole picture loses its harmony. The delay, then, is not a denial. It is a process of synchronization. Everything is being put into place with precision. When the timing is right, things will move quickly, smoothly, and without force. What once felt heavy will become effortless. What seemed distant will feel immediate. And you will look back and understand why the delay was essential. So trust the pause, trust the silence, trust the stretch, trust the waiting. Something perfect is being aligned for your good. When it arrives, it will come with clarity, ease, and confirmation, and you will realize it was worth every moment of patience. Your inner state is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Long before circumstances change, long before opportunities materialize, long before anything becomes visible, the shift begins within you. The outer world is not an independent force acting against you or in your favor. It is a mirror reflecting the emotional and mental atmosphere you consistently carry inside. When your inner state is filled with doubt, fear, or limitation, the world responds by presenting more of the same. But when you shift your feeling, when you choose faith over fear, calm over chaos, and confidence over uncertainty, you activate a transformation that the outer world must eventually match. Every experience in your life is filtered through your internal perception. Two people can face the same situation and experience entirely different realities because their inner states are different. One sees possibility, the other sees defeat. One sees opportunity, the other sees obstacles. The difference is not in the world, it is in the inner lens. When you shift your feeling, you change the lens through which you interpret every event, and that shift alters the outcome itself. Your feelings are not random reactions, they are creative forces. They communicate with your subconscious mind and instruct it on what to attract, what to focus on, and what to manifest. When you continuously feel lack, your mind searches for evidence of lack. When you feel unworthy, you unconsciously sabotage blessings. When you feel anxious, you amplify uncertainty. But when you cultivate the feeling of already having what you desire, your subconscious begins rearranging your thoughts, behaviors, and even the circumstances around you to align with that emotional blueprint. You cannot expect victory while habitually feeling defeated. You cannot invite abundance while emotionally living in lack. You cannot manifest love while carrying the vibration of fear or insecurity. The world cannot bring you what you are unwilling to feel within yourself. Feeling is the magnetic signal, and life responds faithfully to whatever you consistently emit. Shifting your inner state does not require forcing your emotions or pretending that challenges don't exist. It simply means choosing, again and again, to return to the emotional frequency that matches your desired outcome. If you want peace, cultivate peace within. If you want success, feel successful before the world gives you the proof. If you want healing, feel the relief of wholeness in your inner world first. This is not delusion, it is alignment. You are aligning your inner state with the version of yourself who already has the result you desire. When you shift your feeling, you shift your energy, and energy influences everything. People respond differently to you, opportunities appear where there were none, solutions arise with clarity. The world becomes cooperative rather than resistant. Life begins to flow instead of fight you. The shift within becomes a shift without. Because reality mirrors the tone you set internally, your inner state is not just important, it is the architect of your destiny. Change your feeling, and the world cannot help but change with you. Faith is a silent, unseen bridge that carries you from your present reality to the future you are meant to inhabit. It is not built from logic, evidence, or reassurance from the world. It is built from trust. Trust in the unseen, trust in your inner knowing, trust in the promise that what you desire already exists in another realm and is waiting for you to catch up to it. Faith is the connection between who you are today and who you are destined to become. Without it, you remain anchored to what is. With it, you move boldly toward what can be. Faith does not ask you to understand every detail of the journey. It does not require a map, a timeline, or guarantees. It simply asks you to take the next step, even when you cannot see the entire path. It is the quiet whisper that says, "Keep going," when logic urges you to stop. It is the inner strength that carries you through uncertainty, knowing that the lack of visible progress does not mean the lack of actual progress. Faith walks ahead of sight, trusting that each step will reveal the next. This invisible bridge often feels fragile while you're walking on it. Your circumstances may not yet reflect your desire. Your current environment might contradict your vision. Doubt may try to convince you that you're foolish for believing in something you cannot yet touch. But faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to keep moving forward despite it. Every step taken in faith strengthens the bridge beneath you, transforming what seemed uncertain into something solid and sure. Faith also stretches your identity. It asks you to embody the version of yourself who already lives in the reality you desire, to make choices, think thoughts, and feel emotions that align with your future, not your past. Faith requires you to rise to meet your destiny, even when the world around you has not yet shifted. In doing so, you become the energetic match for what you seek, and life has no choice but to respond. Sometimes faith feels like walking through darkness, guided only by an inner light no one else can see. Others may doubt your path or fail to understand your vision, but faith is deeply personal. It is between you and the unseen. It is your commitment to the truth that the future calling you is real, meaningful, and meant for you. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual certainty. It is the inner assurance that what you are moving toward is already waiting for you. When you look back on your life, you will realize that every major breakthrough required you to walk by faith first. The bridge only appeared sturdy after you crossed it. The blessings only made sense after they arrived. The path only seemed clear once you reached the destination. This is the beauty of faith. It carries you forward when nothing else can. It is the invisible bridge between your present and your promise, between your current reality and your destiny. And when you choose to trust it, it will always lead you exactly where you are meant to arrive. Victory is not awarded to the one with the most resources, the clearest path, or the loudest support. It belongs to the one who refuses to surrender the end result, no matter how silent, slow, or uncooperative the world appears. The person who holds the vision when there is no evidence, who keeps believing when circumstances contradict the dream, who remains loyal to the final outcome, even when the journey feels uncertain. That is the person life eventually yields to. Persistence of vision is stronger than any obstacle, any delay, and any temporary setback. The world often tests you by withholding visible signs of progress. It wants to know whether your belief is dependent on proof or whether your proof is built on belief. Most people abandon their dreams not because they are impossible, but because the outer world does not immediately validate them. They let go too early. But the one who succeeds is the one who understands that the end result must be held firmly within, long before it can appear without. Faithful imagination is the soil in which victory grows. Holding the end result is not about wishful thinking. It is about embodying the outcome internally with such conviction that nothing external can shake it. When you refuse to let go of the vision, you create an inner state that overrides temporary appearances. The world reflects your persistence. What you continually affirm, emotionally accept, and mentally revisit becomes the reality you eventually walk into. The outer environment must rearrange itself to match the reality you refuse to let go of. There will be moments when everything seems to contradict your belief. Moments when doors close, when delays stretch longer than expected, when even the people around you doubt the vision you carry. But victory is born in these moments, not in the moments when everything seems easy. These challenges are not signs of failure. They are invitations to anchor the end result even deeper within yourself. The more unwavering your internal certainty becomes, the less power external conditions have over you. Every great achievement in history was once invisible. Every success story began with someone holding on to a vision no one else could see. They continued despite ridicule, despite setbacks, despite silence. Their endurance was the birthplace of their victory. The world eventually made room for what they held inside. It always does. Life bends toward the one who stands firm in conviction. When you hold the end result, you train your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. You open doors through persistence that talent alone could never open. You align your emotions, decisions, and actions with the version of you who has already succeeded. You become the living embodiment of the outcome before it physically exists, and in doing so, you accelerate its arrival. Victory is not luck, it is loyalty. It is loyalty to the vision when no one is clapping, when nothing is moving, and when the path is unclear. The world eventually yields to the person who refuses to yield within. When you hold the end result with unwavering certainty, you become unstoppable. And sooner or later, the world delivers the very thing you never let go of. In the end, everything you desire, every victory, every breakthrough, every transformation begins within you. The world responds to the inner state you choose to hold, the vision you refuse to abandon, and the faith you dare to walk in even when nothing around you affirms it. You are not chasing a future that is uncertain. You are aligning with a destiny that is already prepared. Destiny is with physical reality. The delays are shaping you, the challenges are refining you, and the unseen is working tirelessly in your favor. Hold the end result with unwavering conviction, trust the timing, and walk forward in the feeling of completion. You are closer than you think, stronger than you realize, and destined for more than you know. Thank you for listening, and thank you for believing in the power within you. Today is not just another day. Today marks a shift, a turning point in your life. Everything you have desired, longed for, or silently imagined is preparing to manifest. The universe does not operate through force or struggle. It moves according to the inner state you occupy. Your turning point has arrived, and it begins with the awareness that you are the creator of your own reality. Understand that your inner belief is more powerful than any external circumstance. What you assume in your heart and mind will inevitably express itself outwardly. The unseen always moves before the seen. This means that even when the world seems unchanged, the currents of your life are shifting silently in response to your inner conviction. What you feel to be true inside is what will appear outside. The present moment is your creative laboratory. Whatever you imagine and feel now is what your future will reflect. Do not underestimate the power of simply living in the feeling of your desired reality. When you picture and embrace your fulfillment as though it is already here, you allow the universe to orchestrate circumstances in perfect alignment with your vision. Persistence matters, but it is persistence of feeling, not frantic action. Calmly hold your inner state. Keep the image of your desired reality alive. Do not question, doubt, or force outcomes. Your calm expectancy is the magnet that draws your desires to you. Life will rearrange itself to match your inner assumption, and every obstacle will serve only to guide you toward your new reality. Faith in the invisible is essential. Even when there is no evidence in the outer world, trust that all is working behind the scenes on your behalf. The unseen has already set the stage. Your role is to remain in alignment with it. Prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to receive what is rightfully yours. Receiving requires inner permission. You must open your heart, expect joyfully, and accept fully. And now, your turning point is here. Recognize it, feel it, know that every struggle, every delay, and every challenge has served to bring you to this very moment. A new chapter is beginning. Your reality is ready to transform. Step into it with confidence, gratitude, and unwavering expectation. Get ready to receive. The life you have imagined is waiting for you. Hold the feeling, stay faithful to your inner vision, and let the world outside reflect the reality within. Your turning point has arrived. Embrace it and watch as everything aligns in your favor. Everything you experience in life begins within. The outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Every circumstance, every encounter, every event is shaped first by your assumptions, your beliefs, and the feelings you carry. When you fully assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you step into the role of the creator, and reality begins to bend in alignment with that inner conviction. The power of belief is not merely a concept, it is the very force that shapes your existence. To assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled is to inhabit the state of having already achieved what you long for. It is to live from the end, not from the absence. Most people make the mistake of waiting for external conditions to change before they allow themselves to feel what they desire. They wait for evidence, for confirmation, for the right moment. But the unseen always moves before the seen. The invisible foundation must be laid within before the physical world can reflect it. If you want wealth, health, love, or success, it is not the outer circumstances that must first be adjusted. It is your inner consciousness. Your imagination is the workshop of creation. When you imagine and feel as if your desire is already fulfilled, you are planting seeds in the invisible realm. These seeds grow silently, unseen, beneath the surface of life until they manifest as tangible reality. The universe does not argue with your assumption, it conforms to it. The moment you fully embody the feeling of having what you want, you set in motion a chain of events that aligns people, situations, and opportunities to bring that reality into being. Belief is not mere hope or wishful thinking, it is a settled conviction. It is a knowing, a certainty, and an unshakable inner state. When you cultivate this state, doubt loses its grip and fear dissolves. You no longer chase life, life flows toward you. The more vivid and emotionally charged your inner feeling, the more powerfully it draws your desire to you. Your thoughts and actions then begin to harmonize effortlessly with what you have already assumed, making the outer evidence inevitable. Understand that waiting for external validation is unnecessary. Everything begins within. What you accept as true internally shapes what you will see externally. The unseen moves first, arranging circumstances in perfect alignment with the state you maintain. Patience is not passive, it is active faith. It is the recognition that the world is already responding to your inner state, even if the manifestation is not yet visible to your senses. By mastering the power of inner belief, you step into a life where you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You become the architect of your reality, guiding the unseen with certainty and calm expectation. Every desire fulfilled, every dream realized, begins with the simple yet profound act of feeling it now, as if it is already yours. The unseen always precedes the seen, and your belief is the key that unlocks the door to everything you have ever imagined. The present moment is all you ever truly have. The past exists only as memory, and the future exists only as imagination. What you are now, what you feel and think at this very instant, is the creative force shaping everything that will come to you. Life does not unfold randomly, it unfolds in response to your inner state. Every thought, every emotion, every subtle feeling you entertain in the present moment leaves its imprint upon the fabric of reality. The present is not just a fleeting point in time. It is the creative canvas upon which your entire life is being painted. Too often, people overlook the immense power that resides in the now. They chase the future, wishing for things to change or improve, while remaining disconnected from the one moment where creation occurs. The truth is that nothing ever begins in the outside world. It begins within. The way you experience this moment, the inner world you cultivate here and now, determines the circumstances that will appear tomorrow. By fully embracing the present and consciously choosing your thoughts and feelings, you harness the ability to shape your life with clarity and precision. Your imagination is the tool through which the present moment is transformed into your desired reality. Every feeling you allow yourself to indulge now is a seed sown in the invisible realm. When you imagine your life as you wish it to be and feel the satisfaction, joy, and confidence of that life as if it is already yours, you are not merely daydreaming, you are actively creating. The universe responds to the inner state you maintain, arranging people, events, and situations in perfect alignment with your imagined and felt reality. The present is also where alignment occurs. Your past cannot dictate your future unless you allow it, and the future cannot manifest until you impress the present with its reality. When you focus on what you desire in the now, rather than lamenting what is absent, you create a magnetic pull that draws your dreams toward you. Feelings of gratitude, love, confidence, and expectation are powerful levers that shape the life that will unfold. Being aware of the present moment also means recognizing that you are the source of all experience. Circumstances, challenges, or other people do not create your reality. Your present inner state does. When you consciously choose how to feel and what to imagine, you step into the role of co-creator of your life. Even small shifts in your present feeling can ripple outward, producing changes that eventually manifest as the life you long for. Mastering the present is mastering creation. By fully inhabiting the now and impressing it with the image and feeling of your fulfilled desires, you align yourself with the invisible currents that bring dreams into reality. Every action, thought, and emotion rooted in the present shapes what will appear in your future. The present is the canvas, and your imagination and feelings are the brushes. What you paint here will inevitably appear in the world outside. The power of the present moment is yours to claim. Use it wisely, feel deeply, and imagine vividly, for in this very instant, creation begins, and the life you desire is already in motion. True persistence is not measured by how much effort you expend in the outer world. It is not in constant struggle or relentless pushing that your desires are fulfilled, but in the calm, consistent maintenance of the inner state that reflects your goal already accomplished. The mind and heart aligned in quiet conviction are far more powerful than frantic action. When you persist in feeling the reality you wish to experience, the universe aligns to meet you, and the external world reshapes itself to match your inner certainty. Most people mistake effort for progress. They believe that the harder they work, the sooner their desires will appear. Yet all the effort in the world cannot replace the unseen force of belief impressed upon the inner consciousness. The outer world always mirrors what is held firmly within. It is your inner state, your settled conviction, that orchestrates events, circumstances, and opportunities to bring your desire into manifestation. Action follows naturally from belief. It does not replace it. Let us step in. Persistence in feeling means maintaining your assumption regardless of what the senses reveal. Even when conditions seem contrary, even when evidence of your desire appears absent, remain faithful to the feeling that it is already yours. The outer world is slow to catch up, but it will inevitably conform to your inner state. Every moment you dwell in the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen the bridge between the invisible and the visible, making manifestation not only possible, but inevitable. This kind of persistence is quiet but potent. It does not rely on struggle or coercion. Instead, it relies on unwavering inner attention. When your inner state is consistent, the world outside has no choice but to align. Circumstances, people, and events begin to shift subtly at first, and then more dramatically until the reality you imagined becomes tangible. Your calm persistence acts like a magnet, drawing the circumstances of your desire to you without friction or force. The key is to distinguish between action driven by anxiety and action guided by inner alignment. Frantic effort stems from doubt and fear. It signals a lack of faith in the unseen. Calm, inspired action flows naturally from inner certainty. When you persist in feeling, action is not a struggle, it becomes a graceful extension of the state you maintain. The universe responds to this inner harmony with perfect precision. Patience is an essential companion to persistence in feeling. There is no need to rush or push against life's current. The unseen works tirelessly on your behalf, even while you remain poised in the state of your fulfilled desire. Your role is not to force the world into shape, but to nurture and sustain the inner reality that the world must reflect. By mastering persistence in feeling rather than outer force, you reclaim your creative power. You step out of struggle and into alignment. You allow life to unfold naturally, guided by the invisible hand of your inner state. The external world cannot resist the reality you embody. When your belief is unwavering, when your feeling is consistent, the outer circumstances cannot help but follow. Your calm, persistent inner conviction is the true engine of creation, shaping your world with effortless precision. Faith in the invisible is the cornerstone of every fulfilled desire. The world you see around you is merely a reflection of what has already been impressed upon the unseen. Every circumstance, every opportunity, every moment of life originates first in the invisible realm. To trust in the unseen is to understand that forces beyond the senses are already at work on your behalf, arranging your reality to match the inner state you maintain. When you cultivate this faith, you no longer rely on evidence in the outer world. You rely on the certainty of what is true within. Many people falter because they seek proof in the external before allowing themselves to believe. They wait for conditions to align, for signs to appear, for others to confirm their vision. But the unseen always precedes the seen. What exists in the invisible is the blueprint for the physical manifestation. By trusting the unseen, you acknowledge that the work has already begun. Even if you cannot yet perceive it, your role is to remain steadfast in belief, to hold the inner reality as if it were already complete. Faith in the invisible is not passive. It is an active state of knowing. It requires you to live from the end, to assume the feeling of your fulfilled desire, and to trust that the universe is orchestrating circumstances to bring that desire into form. Every moment you maintain this faith, you strengthen the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Doubt and impatience weaken that bridge, while unwavering trust reinforces it. Life does not respond to fear or uncertainty. It responds to the inner assurance that your desire is already accomplished. When external evidence is absent, it is precisely the moment to deepen your faith. The lack of visible results does not signify failure. It signifies the quiet work of creation unfolding beyond the reach of your senses. The unseen is always in motion, and your trust is the signal that aligns your inner state with this movement. By imagining and feeling your fulfilled desire, you are participating in the creative process, even if the outer world appears silent or resistant. Faith in the invisible also brings peace. When you trust that everything is moving according to a perfect plan, you release the anxiety and struggle that accompany doubt. You no longer push against reality or demand immediate proof. Instead, you cultivate an inner certainty that allows life to flow effortlessly. This faith is magnetic. It draws circumstances, people, and events into alignment with your inner state, making manifestation inevitable. To embody faith in the invisible is to become a living declaration that the world is already responding to you. You move through life with the quiet confidence that everything you desire is being prepared, arranged, and delivered. Your feelings, thoughts, and assumptions are the instruments through which the unseen operates. The more you trust, the more powerful your creative influence becomes. By holding faith in the invisible, you step out of doubt and into alignment. You recognize that the unseen is always moving, that your desires are already underway, and that your role is simply to remain steadfast, expectant, and grateful. In this trust lies your power, the power to draw what you imagine into the tangible, the power to manifest effortlessly, the power to live in harmony with the invisible forces that shape your reality. To receive is not a matter of doing more or striving harder in the outer world. True receiving begins within. It is an alignment of mind, emotions, and expectations with the reality you wish to manifest. Until you allow yourself to be in the state of having what you desire, your outer world cannot reflect it. Receiving requires inner permission, a conscious decision to inhabit the reality you long for, to open your heart fully, and to accept the fulfillment of your desires as inevitable. Most people block themselves from receiving because they are caught in disbelief, doubt, or a sense of unworthiness. They seek outside validation before permitting themselves to feel worthy of the gift that life has already prepared. But the universe does not respond to hesitation or doubt. It responds to your inner state. When your mind is aligned with your desire, your emotions resonate with its fulfillment, and your expectations are firm, the doors of manifestation swing wide open. Readiness to receive begins with clarity of intention. Know exactly what you wish to experience and hold that vision with confidence and certainty. Imagine it vividly, feel it deeply, and carry it as a living reality within you. The alignment of thought, feeling, and expectation creates a magnetic field that draws the circumstances, people, and opportunities necessary to manifest your desire. When all three, mind, heart, and expectation, are in harmony, resistance fades and the flow of life brings your wish into form effortlessly. And yet, what periodica por emotions play a crucial role in readiness. Feeling is the language of creation. When you immerse yourself in the emotions of having already received, you are signaling to the universe that your desire is real, complete, and accepted. Gratitude, joy, and satisfaction amplify this signal. The stronger the emotional resonance, the faster and more harmoniously the outer world responds. Without these emotions, the mind alone cannot compel reality to align. The heart must fully participate. Expectations are equally essential. To expect something is to know deep within that it will come to pass. Weak or uncertain expectations delay manifestation, while strong, unwavering expectation accelerates it. Readiness is therefore an inner stance, a confident knowing that life is already arranging itself to deliver your desire. It is not wishing, hoping, or asking. It is assuming, accepting, and receiving. Receiving requires surrender. It requires you to release struggle, doubt, and impatience, and to trust that the universe is working in perfect harmony with your inner state. The more you resist or doubt, the more you delay the natural unfolding of what is already yours. The more you allow, align, and open yourself to receive, the more effortlessly life delivers. By aligning your mind, emotions, and expectations with your desire, you give yourself permission to receive. You step out of resistance and into harmony. You open the door to abundance, joy, success, and fulfillment. Readiness to receive is the conscious choice to inhabit your desired reality before it appears, to accept it fully, and to trust that the unseen is arranging circumstances to make your imagined life tangible. In this readiness, you become a living magnet, and all that you desire flows to you naturally, easily, and inevitably. Your turning point is not a distant dream or a future event. It is this moment. It is the awareness that everything you have been waiting for is now moving into place. Every struggle, every delay, every obstacle you have faced has served its purpose to prepare you, to strengthen your inner conviction, and to bring you to this very threshold of transformation. The moment you recognize this, you step into a new chapter, one where the life you have imagined becomes inevitable. Being conscious, expectant, and receptive is the key to fully embracing this turning point. Life often appears to resist our desires, presenting challenges that seem insurmountable. Yet these are not signs of failure. They are merely the outer reflections of an inner preparation taking place. The unseen forces are always at work, moving circumstances into alignment with your inner state. Every moment of seeming difficulty is dissolving quietly, unseen, like ice melting under the warmth of the sun. To focus on lack or delay is to miss the reality of the turning point that has already arrived. True awareness requires seeing beyond appearances, recognizing the movement of life behind the veil of the senses. Expectancy is your bridge to manifestation. When you expect life to deliver your desire, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. This is not hope or wishful thinking. It is a firm inner knowing that the work is done, that the outcome is certain, and that your new reality is ready to appear. Every thought, every feeling, and every quiet moment of anticipation strengthens this alignment, accelerating the arrival of your desired outcome. Expectancy is the state of consciousness in which the invisible and the visible merge, and your turning point becomes apparent in your life. Receptivity is equally vital. To receive, you must release resistance and open yourself fully to what is already yours. Receptivity is a conscious permission, a willingness to accept abundance, joy, love, or success without doubt or hesitation. When your mind and heart are aligned with your desire and your expectation is unwavering, you create a magnetic field that draws your imagined reality toward you. The more fully you accept, the more effortlessly the universe responds. Being conscious of your turning point also means embracing gratitude. Recognize the invisible work that has been orchestrating your life, the guidance, the opportunities, and the lessons that have led you here. Gratitude amplifies alignment, signaling that you are ready to receive fully. Every delay has its reason, every obstacle its lesson, and every struggle its purpose. They are dissolving now, making space for the reality you have long imagined. This is your moment of awakening, your opportunity to step into a new reality with clarity, faith, and confidence. Life is rearranging itself in your favor, and the external world is beginning to reflect the inner state you have maintained. By being conscious, expectant, and receptive, you align with the unseen forces that bring your desire into manifestation. Your turning point is here. It is alive within you, ready to transform your life. Embrace it, live it, and allow everything you have imagined to unfold naturally, effortlessly, and magnificently. As we come to the close of this message, remember that your turning point is not a distant event. It is here, it is now, and it is waiting for you to embrace it. Every desire you have ever held, every dream you have ever imagined is already in motion. The unseen is working tirelessly on your behalf. And the only thing required of you is to align your mind, your feelings, and your expectations with the reality you wish to experience. Trust, persist, imagine, and remain receptive. For life is ready to mirror the state you hold within. Your journey forward begins with the conscious choice to feel fulfilled, to expect with certainty, and to receive without hesitation. The struggles of the past, the delays you have endured, and the obstacles you have faced are dissolving now, making way for a new chapter filled with opportunities, joy, and manifestation. Stand firm in your inner belief and let your imagination guide your reality. Thank you for allowing yourself to step into this moment, to open your mind and heart, and to recognize the power you hold within. May you move forward with confidence, expectation, and gratitude, knowing that your desires are already unfolding in the invisible realm, soon to be reflected in your life. Thank you.